For decades, the iron law of the gym has remained unchallenged. Building muscle and generating this kind of force requires high amounts of carbohydrates. Yet athletes in weight rooms across the world are currently stripping away body fat while adding lean tissue on zero-carb ketogenic diets. But for most people attempting this, the results are different. Strength typically drops off around week 3, leaving the lifter exhausted before they even finish their primary sets. This occurs because the standard training protocol is incompatible with a fat-based fuel source. It is a mechanical misalignment. It is the equivalent of trying to operate a heavy diesel transmission inside an electric vehicle. Once the body switches its primary fuel source from glucose to fat, the mechanics of physical exertion must change to match the new energy state. Supporting muscle growth in this state requires adjusting 3 specific metabolic variables. The first variable is the change in your hormonal profile. Entering deep ketosis, a state where the liver produces ketones from fat for energy, triggers a specific shift in how your body preserves tissue. Data shows that human growth hormone levels can increase by up to 300%, alongside a rise in testosterone, supported by a high intake of healthy dietary fats. Ketones themselves act as anti-inflammatory agents. This results in a measurable reduction in muscle soreness and allows for a faster recovery between training sessions. These changes create a biological environment optimized for muscle retention. The engine is primed. It simply requires the correct ignition. Most keto lifters fail because they attempt high-volume sets of 12 to 15 reps. That rep range relies on glycogen, stored glucose in the muscle, which is a fuel tank that a keto diet intentionally leaves empty. Instead of chasing a high-volume pump, the protocol must shift toward heavy, explosive strength training, keeping sets within the 5 to 8 rep range. This shift is driven by cellular energy pathways. On the left, the glycogen pathway stalls during high rep sets without glucose. However, heavy 5-rep sets rely on the creatine phosphate system, providing short, intense power bursts without glucose, needing just 2 to 3 minutes to recharge. By adjusting the rep ranges, you bypass the depleted carbohydrate system and draw power from a direct, fat-supported energy source. Even with the correct training load, the body cannot sustain muscle growth if the underlying chemical inputs are incorrect. A zero-carb diet causes the body to excrete water and minerals at a higher rate. This mineral flush requires daily supplementation of sodium, potassium, and magnesium to maintain muscle contraction and prevent fatigue. This blueprint details structural requirements: 5 grams of daily creatine and a protein intake of 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram to rebuild muscle fibers. Some advanced athletes use a targeted ketogenic diet, consuming 20 grams of fast-acting carbs strictly before a workout. Think of this as a temporary power boost rather than a dietary staple. Managing these inputs ensures the system remains stable, allowing the hormonal advantages of ketosis to drive muscle repair. There is one final variable in this protocol that cannot be bypassed: biological time. This chart shows the timeline for keto adaptation. This is the period where the body produces specific enzymes required to process fat for explosive movement. While performance dips in the first month, the trend turns upward by week 8 as the body optimizes its fuel. The result of this process is true body recomposition, the state of burning stored body fat for fuel while adding dense muscle mass to the frame. Move away from the fitness habits designed for a carbohydrate-based metabolism. Lower the reps, increase the weight, and allow adaptation to complete. By aligning your training with your internal fuel source, you are engineering a more resilient and capable human machine.